Did you know that Manhattan was once covered in rolling hills and forests? Before the first skyscraper pierced the sky, before Central Park was carved from rock, New York was just a tiny Dutch trading post called New Amsterdam. Today, it's home to some of the world's most recognizable buildings. But how did this transformation happen? The story is more shocking than you think. Let's travel back to 1624. Dutch colonists arrived with European building traditions. They constructed simple wooden houses with steep roofs and brick facades. The oldest surviving building? It's not what you'd expect. The Conference House on Staten Island still stands today, built in 1680. These colonial structures were practical, not pretty. They had to survive harsh winters and hot summers without modern technology. When the British took over in 1664, everything changed. They renamed the city New York and brought Georgian architecture. Trinity Church, built in 1698, became the city's first major religious landmark. Its Gothic Revival spire dominated the skyline for over 150 years. Imagine that, a church was once New York's tallest building. The British influence created wider streets and more organized city planning. The 1800s brought massive waves of immigration. Irish, German, Italian, and Jewish communities poured into the city. Each group brought their architectural traditions. Synagogues appeared on the Lower East Side. Catholic churches rose in Little Italy. Brownstone houses became symbols of middle-class prosperity. These narrow, four-story buildings with their distinctive stairs still define many neighborhoods today. Then came the game changer, the elevator. Invented in 1853 by Elisha Otis, it made tall buildings practical. Why walk up 10 flights when you could ride? The Equitable Life Building, completed in 1870, was the first office building with passenger elevators. It rose 7 stories high and shocked New Yorkers. Little did they know this was just the beginning of the vertical revolution. The 1880s marked the birth of the skyscraper era. Steel frame construction replaced heavy masonry walls. Buildings could now reach unprecedented heights. The Tower Building, completed in 1889, stood 11 stories tall and was considered a marvel. Architects like Louis Sullivan pioneered the form follows function philosophy. Every floor, every window had a purpose. Beauty came from utility. The early 1900s brought Art Deco magnificence. The Chrysler Building, completed in 1930, became an instant icon. Its metallic spire and geometric patterns represented American optimism. The Empire State Building followed in 1931, reaching 1,454 feet with its antenna. Built in just 410 days during the Great Depression, it employed 3,500 workers. These weren't just buildings, they were symbols of American ambition. Post-World War II brought international-style modernism. Glass and steel boxes replaced ornate facades. The United Nations headquarters, completed in 1952, showcased this minimalist approach. The Seagram Building followed in 1958, with its bronze facade and plaza setting new standards. Critics called them cold and impersonal. But architects argued they represented democracy and equality. No decoration meant no hierarchy. The 1960s and 70s saw urban renewal projects that changed entire neighborhoods. The World Trade Center towers, completed in 1973, stood 1,368 and 1,362 feet tall. Their simple, vertical lines dominated Lower Manhattan's skyline. Love them or hate them, they became symbols of American economic power. Sadly, their story ended tragically on September 11, 2001, forever changing how we think about tall buildings and security. The 21st century brought sustainable architecture and mixed-use developments. One World Trade Center, completed in 2014, incorporates advanced safety features and environmental technology. The High Line transformed abandoned railway tracks into an elevated park, showing how old infrastructure can gain new life. Green roofs, solar panels, and energy-efficient materials now define responsible development. Today's New York reflects incredible diversity. Mosques in Queens serve growing Muslim communities. Hindu temples in Jackson Heights welcome South Asian immigrants. The Islamic Cultural Center on the Upper East Side showcases modern Islamic architecture. These buildings prove that New York's architectural story continues evolving. Every community adds new chapters to this urban masterpiece. What's next for New York architecture? Climate change demands innovative solutions. Rising sea levels threaten coastal areas. Affordable housing remains critically important. New technologies like 3D printing and smart building systems offer possibilities our ancestors never imagined. One thing remains constant: New York keeps reinventing itself, one building at a time. The story continues, and you're part of it.